When I first picked up Donald Hoffman's A Case Against Reality, Why Evolution Hid the Truth from Our Eyes, I expected an intriguing read, but what I encountered was nothing short of transformative. This book is a bold and daring exploration of how deeply flawed our perception of reality is, a concept that has challenged not only my understanding of the world, but also my understanding of myself as a human being. It is a must-read for anyone eager to delve beneath the surface. Whether you're simply curious about the limits of human knowledge, or an academic searching for a provocative perspective on the constraints of our senses. From the outset, Hoffman lays out his central argument. What we perceive as reality is not an objective truth, but an interface evolved by our brains to maximize survival, not accuracy. This notion flips the conventional anthropocentric assumption on its head. The idea that what we see, hear, and feel constitutes the entirety of what exists. As humans, we often operate with the implicit belief that our sensory perceptions are infallible, that our understanding of the universe is somehow complete. Hoffman shatters this illusion, and I believe his insights offer a crucial wake-up call for anyone who has ever been tempted to equate what is visible with what is real. One of the most striking aspects of Hoffman's argument is his use of evolutionary game theory to demonstrate why perceiving reality accurately is not necessarily advantageous. He provides compelling mathematical evidence that creatures who perceive the world in terms of fitness payoffs, rather than objective truths, are more likely to survive. This, for me, is a groundbreaking revelation. It underscores the profound limitations of our senses and invites us to reimagine our place in the grander scheme of existence. Hoffman's work is an elegant reminder of the beauty in humility, the acknowledgement that as humans, we are not the ultimate measure of reality, but rather constrained observers navigating a rich, complex universe through limited tools. I've often been fascinated by the question of whether we truly understand what we claim to know. Hoffman's book provided me with a framework to articulate this unease. He argues that our sensory perceptions are akin to a user interface, a simplified, abstracted representation designed for utility, not truth. Just as icons on a computer screen don't reveal the intricate circuitry beneath, our perceptions don't expose the underlying fabric of reality. This metaphor, while simple, struck me as profoundly powerful. It suggests that there is so much more to existence than what our senses can grasp, urging us to venture beyond the obvious and embrace the unknown. One of the book's most fascinating elements is its ability to balance rigorous scientific exploration with profound philosophical implications. Hoffman's arguments are rooted in neuroscience, physics, and evolutionary biology, but they also provoke deep questions about the nature of consciousness and existence. For me, the philosophical takeaway is clear. Imagination is not merely an indulgence, but a necessity. Hoffman's work reaffirms my belief that imagination often surpasses knowledge in importance, because it enables us to ask questions that transcend lazy assumptions. It challenges the limits of what we think is possible and pushes the boundaries of our intellectual curiosity. Hoffman's book is not without its controversies. His suggestion that space-time and physical objects are not fundamental realities, but human constructs, has sparked debates among scientists and philosophers alike. Yet, I find his arguments exhilarating. They invite us to rethink deeply ingrained assumptions and confront uncomfortable truths. I appreciate how Hoffman doesn't shy away from the implications of his claims. Instead, he leans into them, presenting a vision of reality that is as unsettling as it is beautiful. Reading this book felt like peeling back layers of a long-held illusion, One passage, in particular, resonated deeply with me. Hoffman writes that reality is not about truth, it's about survival. This simple yet profound statement encapsulates the essence of his argument and highlights the stark difference between what we think we know and what might actually exist. It's a humbling realization, and one that has stayed with me long after closing the final chapter. It's also a reminder of how often we fall into the trap of anthropocentric thinking, assuming that our human experiences and perceptions are the gold standard for understanding reality. For anyone who dares to read this book, I believe the most significant reward lies in its capacity to inspire a sense of wonder. Hoffman's argument that evolution prioritizes utility over truth doesn't lead to despair. Rather, it opens the door to new possibilities. If our senses are a mere interface, then what lies beneath? What hidden dimensions and truths remain unexplored? This is where Hoffman's work intersects with my own philosophy. Adaptation and curiosity are not just survival mechanisms, but also pathways to a richer, more meaningful engagement with existence. Hoffman's exploration of consciousness is another aspect of the book that I found particularly compelling. He proposes that consciousness itself is fundamental to reality, rather than a byproduct of physical processes. While this idea is speculative, it is also deeply thought-provoking. It challenges the reductionist view that consciousness can be entirely explained by neural activity and suggests a far more intricate relationship between mind and reality. For me, this perspective reinforces the importance of humility. It's a reminder that our scientific frameworks, as powerful as they are, may only scratch the surface of deeper truths. What I admire most about A Case Against Reality is its audacity. Hoffman doesn't merely critique existing paradigms. He offers a bold alternative. His interface theory of perception is a radical departure from traditional scientific views, and while it may not provide all the answers, it raises questions that are vital for progress. This willingness to embrace uncertainty and challenge orthodoxy is, in my opinion, the hallmark of great intellectual work. It's a trait that I believe more of us should cultivate in our personal and professional lives. To anyone considering this book, I would say, prepare to have your assumptions challenged. Hoffman's writing is accessible yet profound, blending scientific rigor with philosophical depth. Whether you are an academic researcher or simply someone captivated by the mysteries of existence, this book offers a perspective that is as enlightening as it is provocative. It is a call to go beyond the surface, to question the limits of our knowledge, and to embrace the vast unknown with curiosity and humility. A Case Against Reality is a book that has profoundly impacted my thinking. It's a bold statement against the anthropocentric focus that dominates much of human thought, and a celebration of the beauty found in acknowledging our limitations. Hoffman's work reminds us that adaptation and imagination are not just survival tools, but essential components of intellectual and spiritual growth. Most importantly, it encourages us to see the world not as a static, comprehensible entity, but as an ever-expanding mystery waiting to be explored. For all these reasons, I believe this book is an essential read for anyone seeking to move beyond the surface and embrace the deeper questions of life and reality.